Welcome to the It Came From The Basement podcast, brought to you by Tourworthy.com. My name is Jordan, and I interview the bands still grinding it out in bars and basements to talk about the various DIY scenes from around the country and how it affected their lives. What's going on, everyone? You are listening to the It Came From The Basement podcast, hosted by DJ Tall Guy, brought to you by Tourworthy.com. All right, today over the internet with me is Montreal pop punkers Second Harbour. What's going on, everyone?
We're great, dude. How about you?
I'm vibing. So why don't you go through, introduce yourself, say what you do for the band.
All right, well, I'm Vince, and I am now officially the drummer.
Woo!
Recent. I'm Xavier James, and I play bass now, and I sing.
My name is Jake. I play the guitar, and I sing backup.
Cool. A
Bassist
lead singer. You don't get one of those every once in a while. It's like Fat Mike.
Exactly.
So
actually, I was the guitarist singer for the longest time, and we just swapped really like a couple months back when Jake joined, essentially.
Yeah.
That's why it was like some confusion in the beginning. Basically, we haven't done a show yet as this new lineup. This is our new guy, Jake, and then he stole a guitar from me. Now I swapped to bass, which I stole from this guy, Vince. And then he's on drums now.
Yeah, so I was about to say I'm the bassist now. Like, wait a second, no.
Exactly.
So like everyone plays multiple instruments.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So like, I know you guys have just solidified your positions, but would you be open to like trading in the middle of a gig? Say like, Vince wants to play guitar on this song, and then
Absolutely.
I think that'd be really cool. Like something new.
When we have longer set times than like 30, 40 minutes, for sure.
I remember one time I saw Weezer, and they did it. Like, they just swapped for like a song or two, and they just like go, and the singer goes on drums, and the drummer goes and plays guitar, and it's just a cool vibe. So, but yeah, I mean, it's a pretty chaotic process, but it's kind of cool. It works to our benefit. So,
see, I always think of Green Day whenever they do Dominated Love Slave live, and Trey gets off the drums and Billy gets up, and then they trade, and I was just like, hell yeah.
It's sick. Like Sum 41 does that pretty frequently too. I know Simple Plan used to do that a little while ago. A lot of bands. It's pretty sick. It's always like a nice staple in a show where everyone's like, "Oh fuck, these guys really know what's up."
yeah.
It's cool. It shows there's a fluidity with the band. But so you guys are from Montreal, if I remember correctly. So I guess my first question is, what's the scene like out there? I know you said you haven't played a show with this lineup, but I know Vince and remind me.
Xavier James.
Okay. Yeah. I know you guys have been doing the band for a couple years now, and I've never really I'm involved in the New Jersey scene, but I haven't really gotten outside of like New Jersey, Pennsylvania, New York. So what's it like up there? Do you have like some favorite spots? Some like brother sister bands that you love playing with? Like, I mean, give us the scoop.
Yeah, we've gotten the chance to play with a lot of cool bands. From here, there aren't that many bands that are like in our genre, really, like, you know, the emo pop punk world. Really, it's a pretty small scene in Montreal. There's a lot of cool people in Toronto and Ottawa, but like around here, we don't know that many bands in our genre. But you know, shows are still always fun. We always have a lot of people that come out, like friends and family, and you know, random people as well that come and support, and it's really cool. And I mean, it's a small thing here, but like regardless, we just love playing shows for people. And yeah, we've met a lot of cool people, and we've gotten a chance to open for a lot of like outsiders, like, you know, Home Safe and was like super sick to open for. That was pretty much, I think that was our last show before COVID hit. So yeah, we've gotten like the opportunity to play a lot of cool shows. It's just around here, the pop punk and emo scene isn't that much of a thing, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
At the same time though, like Montreal, especially during the summer, there's a bunch of streets like downtown that are always like the nightlife is massive here. There's big streets, like bars, restaurants, places that we can play. I mean, like it's not always like emo pop punk music, but there's a lot for like live music, a lot of like party streets and stuff.
Yeah, but like you guys also, like, compared to most of the other states, I guess it's closed down for half the year. You know what I mean? With the bad weather and stuff around here, like literally we trekked to shows so many times with like just in absolute worst conditions, and like you can barely make it there, and then everyone's sludging in with boots and stuff.
Yeah,
it's like,
and it's because the problem with that is that like also fans, you know, if it's like -30 outside and there's snow everywhere, they're like,
Mhm.
we're less likely to be like, oh, let me go downtown and go see it like a show. Like, it's just a lot of work, you know. So
Those winter shows can be rough. I
yeah,
remember I played what was it, like 2 or 3 years ago, we played a show that was like 40 minutes away from like our home base in the middle of a blizzard, and my bandmates, I'm not in that band anymore, but they got there like maybe 10 minutes before sound check. And like
yeah.
we played for like 4 people, and I think we opened for Harley Cromag, who I didn't even stay to watch. I was just like, I don't care about this fucking old dude. I want to go home and I want to go to bed. This drive sucked.
Exactly, I feel that.
But so what is, you said there's not much of a like pop punk scene in Montreal, but there is like opportunities to play. So what is mostly coming out of the venues near you and the scene near you?
Here, to be honest, there's a lot of metal. Like metal,
Yeah.
I mean, one of the biggest metal venues just closed down around here right before or during COVID, maybe. I'm not sure, but in general, there are always a lot of metal bands, a lot of metal heads around here. That's like a big thing. And you know, we have like the Heavy Montreal Festival, which is like a big thing around here. We had a rock fest for a while before it shut down or whatever. I think went bankrupt or something. But there's always been like a lot of fans of heavier stuff around here. So that's definitely like I'd say the thing that thrives. And you know, on top of like the very popular like whether it's dance music or pop or whatever, like there's a lot of that here as well, like Oceag and stuff like that, big festivals so it's like there's sort of like literally the opposites, like the very poppy or the very, very heavy stuff here, not so much in the middle, which is where we're at. But yeah, so that's like more what we have around here.
Honestly, I feel like there's going to be a comeback of like pop punk and stuff coming back up, you know, especially with people like MGK and stuff stepping into the game. Like, I feel like it's going to become way more of an open genre, and like stuff's just going to come, like there's going to be more bands around and stuff, younger people coming into the game. I feel like it's going to open up a lot more.
Yeah, and like the band that actually sparked the conversation between us was Arm's Length.
Yep.
And like they're doing really cool stuff. I know they're coming out to the States in a couple months, which is going to be really cool. I'm trying to get out to New York to see them. But so you know what, speaking of touring, I know I read in the interview that you guys did, you're trying to play Chain Reaction, but I'm going to restrict you to the East Coast. Dream venue.
Damn, dude, dream venue. We haven't toured much at all. We don't have that experience much, and you know, we're still very, very local. So dream venue.
You don't have to like, you have access to Hate56 and YouTube. You know venues. You know, it doesn't have to be something that's realistic for you right now. I just
around here, we've always wanted to play the. I think it just changed name recently, but it was called the Metropolis for a while, which was like this cool little venue in Montreal. And also, wait, what's the one that? Yeah, Fofone like is sick. Also, that's like an old venue that Blink used to play. I think
Green Day used to play. Nirvana played.
Yeah, it was like a cool little joint like a while back, and like I think it's still up and kicking. But like that would be a really sick spot around here.
Yeah, just because of the history with it.
Yeah, I'm not too familiar with like outside stuff yet, considering we haven't toured much. But yeah, I think around here, like those are the spots that like would be cool, just to know that we, you know, even if it's decades later, like sort of share this stage, quote unquote, with like, you know, people we grew up listening to, that kind of thing.
Those like historic scene spots are like part of my favorite part about music. That's why I always ask questions about the scene. Like the school that I went to for college, I went to Rutgers in New Jersey. The whole reason I went there was because of the music scene that has been like flourishing since the late 80s. Like I know you guys talk about like Blink and everything is influenced, but I'm sure you're also familiar with like Lifetime and the Bouncing Souls.
Yeah.
Like those are like hometown bands for me because of where I went to school. But like I always found that fascinating. So do you guys have any like hometown bands from your area that were just like, these were the people that not necessarily that you saw, but people that like you saw doing it from where you were that made you want to get out and do it yourself?
Well, growing up, we had Simple Plan for sure, 100%. I mean, just like, you know, they were from here, same kind of situation where like bilingual people, but you know, they like sort of escape by having like little to no accent, so it works in their favor, you know, doing the music in English and everything like we do sort of. And you know, just doing that pop punk, like they rode that wave early on. You know, with their first album with the Mark feature from Blink and everything. Like, yeah, I think they inspired us when we were younger for sure. Like it was because they were even still now, even though they've like, you know, I'm sure their fan base has changed a lot throughout the years, but they still like are played pretty frequently on the radio. That's everything here. It's pretty accessible. Like they've always been out there. If you like, you don't even need to really look in Montreal. If you're fucking living here, you're gonna see Simple Plan, hear about Simple Plan, everything. So
yeah, it's like a pride thing around here. It's definitely like one of those big bands from here that like everybody's proud of. You know,
and especially since they do the songs in French, also sometimes like even like your old aunt that's a French woman is gonna know them. You know what I mean? Like everyone knows them because they play at the supermarket now, kind of thing. So yeah,
that's awesome.
So, like I want to throw a shout out to a band. They're not from Quebec. They're from somewhere else in Canada. They're called Judgment, and they like I was lucky enough to become friends with some of the members, and they're like kind of at our level, but recently they've been taking off, and I like been seeing on Instagram, and for me at least personally, I don't know if these guys know them. It's inspiring to see like a band that's around our level, like being able to go further. That's been like inspiring for me to watch.
Crossing that threshold is always exciting, especially like when you're watching your homies do it.
Yeah, exactly, for sure.
That's like there's this one other podcast that I like to listen to called This Was the Scene, and basically it's like all the early 2000s, late 90s emos and pop punk bands talking about how them and their friends just kind of were getting plucked up from all these basement and DIY venues. Like I think he did one with what's his name from Taking Back Sunday, and like that whole era. And I was just like, I love learning about these kinds of things. But where to go next? So the songwriting process for you guys, what's it like? I know from what I've heard, you guys do a very good job at balancing like the melodic with the heavy. Like there's always a little bit of venom peeking through all the catchiness, and I'm just like, that's what I look for, because I can't just do like you mentioned Simple Plan a lot. Like I like Simple Plan, but every once in a while I was just like, yo, just yell at me. Just yell at me a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, we always want to sprinkle in that kind of stuff. But I'd say like our songwriting process is very chaotic, like absolutely freaky crazy. Like it can go anywhere, anytime. And especially, yeah, I mean, for the song that we sent you, Don't Hold Back for Me, and like that's our new single, it's gonna come out pretty soon. For that one and our past couple songs as well, they've been just Vince and I that have written them. And we're both multi-instrumentalists, right? And we've like he wrote the guitars for this new song, and I've always done drums and vocals and mostly guitars sometimes. But yeah, now he took over the guitars for this. I wrote some bass parts and whatever. We swap it up like all the time. And now with Jake in the fold, like the past couple of weeks, been writing new stuff. And it's just like what we had, except, with an extra person, because he also plays everything. So now it's just everyone copying any instrument around and just like
trying to make a cool sound. Yeah.
So yeah, it's just pretty crazy, but it ends up working out pretty well for us. Like we just make sure we have the sound that we want. We don't worry too much about like, what's musically, like technically, profound or whatever. Like
not like those math rock bands.
Exactly. We're not too worried about skills and whatnot. Like, we throw in some, like, if something sounds cool, we'll throw it in kind of thing, That's basically where our minds are at when we're writing stuff.
Yeah.
That's how songwriting should be. Just taking like the pieces of songs that that you like and making them work together.
Yeah, for sure.
That's how you make something cool.
Like you mentioned, Simple Plan and stuff. It's like, yeah, we love like their catchy choruses and stuff. So we obviously want to have that in our band as well, because it's just like so cool to have like, just chorus everybody can sing. But at the same time, we just like having like weird bridges or verses that people are like, wait a second, like this is just bizarre. And then it goes into a chorus that is just like still catchy and can catch their attention. So that's kind of like really where we want to stand and be around.
Yeah. If we can captivate you with the chorus and then make you want to die during the bridge and then come back to the chorus, then that's what we want to do.
Then we did our job.
Exactly.
It's like a setup and payoff.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's a psychology to it.
For sure.
Yeah.
And we always want to like get as close as we can to being like a heavier band without necessarily crossing that threshold, where we still keep like sort of like our more soft tendencies and whatnot. But yeah, we just like
it's just fun to play too.
Exactly. Throw in some little rough areas where people are like sort of taken off guard, that like, I'm almost barking at them a little bit, stuff like that.
So kind of like the first like few Story So Far EPs.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they're definitely like an influence on us. But yeah, exactly, where they like have something really melodic, but then they're gonna, turn into a bridge where Parker's gonna yell pretty like fiercely, and then come back to like a nice little singing chorus or whatever.
Mhm.
Yeah, for sure, stuff like that.
And I'm always a sucker for like catchy hooks over a D beat. Like, sign me up for that any day of the week. But my next question is actually for Jake, because I also recently just joined a new band. And so I was wondering what the process of joining a band that has kind of been playing together for a while and introducing your style while also like making it a part of the core sound.
Especially
sure.
Vince and I are brothers, so
Yeah,
if you didn't know.
I'm like the outcast here. but-
Exactly. So not only have we been playing together, but we've been living together for like 20 years. So
So I mean, it wasn't too hard because we met like way back when we were all like really young. We played with each other for a bit, but like we were all kind of kids. We were all stupid. It didn't really work out. And so I went off, did my own thing. They went off, did their own thing. And like recently we started talking again. I like their stuff. They like my stuff. And we just like decided to like give it another shot. And then,
Do you have other stuff?
yeah, I mean, I put out my own stuff on the side. And
Word.
yeah.
Cool. All right. So, all right. I'm going to point my attention at Vince now.
Yeah.
So, Vince, if I remember correctly, you are the primary lyricist.
No, exactly. That is for sure.
Oh, okay. My bad.
All
So,
good.
all good, dude.
So I remember reading in your interview that your goal when writing a song is you want people to play with your lyrics.
Yeah, I want people to like, interpret them how they will and, pick out as much stuff as they can. And I always like put in rhymes that like, have a couple different meanings if I can. And like, yeah, I just want people to take them for how they see them, interpret them versus like, I'm not necessarily being super specific in what I'm saying. Make sure that they can experience what they want to experience the song as. So
Just like a little bit of vagueness so that it can
Exactly.
be different for each listener.
exactly. There are a lot of lyricists that like, are going to say, oh, on Tuesday, I went to the store that was located on Fifth Avenue and whatever. But like, and that's cool. But for me, I'm like, a little more vague, a little more like try to be mysterious in my things a little bit so that like, it's sort of more applicable to just a general person. So everyone has problems. Everyone deals with shit differently. But yeah, I don't know. That's like, I want it to be an experience that I can share with a lot of people,
Yeah, I hear you. So like, who would you say are like, I hate picking top questions because it puts people in the spot, but like 3 lyrical influences that you would cite.
Well, definitely.
Singers that really speak to you.
Yeah, it definitely started with, I'll count these as one, but definitely the dudes in Blink. Like, I know a lot of people laugh at them for like, all the small things and just normal singles and whatnot, but like, their self-titled album with like a lot of lyrics, like Here's Your Letter and like Espenia and all these deep cuts, like Obvious. They have
Love
like
that record.
lyrics. Yeah, exactly. They just have like so many cool things and like back and forth that work really well. So they definitely kicked it off for me, like wanting to step up my game, not just write like, some easy generic lyrics. Aside from them, when I was like 15, 16, I discovered like Parker Cannon, the way he played with words in the story so far. Yeah, like his stuff is also like crazy up there. I love the back and forth in Knuckle Puck as well. I'd have to give it to those boys. Like they hide so many, they do like the stuff that I try to do really, which is like, like hiding meanings and whatnot in their songs, just like playing around with it like it's some sort of chess game instead of like just being straight up. Like they try to like juggle these things and throw them together, and it's really cool. So I'd say those 3 is what I'm thinking of at the moment, but I love so many of them. So yeah.
And so like we've been talking about Blink a lot. You mentioned the self-titled record, and I harbor a very hot take that a lot of people yell at me for, but I loved Neighborhoods.
That's your best album.
Yeah, we're on your team for that one. We love
All
it.
right.
Also, we're huge Angels and Airwaves fans, so it's easy for us to love it more because it's like you could see the influence from Angels and Airwaves like really hold back on Neighborhoods, but it's also just a great record.
People just love to jump on that hate train because, dude,
yeah,
Up All Night is literally a riff that you see in the making of the self-titled album.
Yeah.
And like, so they literally picked up where they left off and people still weren't happy. So it's like, yo, look.
At a certain point, everybody's going to hate you. Like, there's always somebody that's going to hate you because like, either they want you to stay the same or then they complain that you stayed the same. So it's like, either way, you're kind of just, just playing your own game. So just make the music for you and have fun. And that's what I think they were doing. And in my opinion, it turned out great. But you know, if other people don't like it, well, I don't like it.
A beast of an album that we happen to buy on vinyl, like that we need.
Yeah, exactly. It's a fantastic
We
album.
all agree.
It's a good album.
All right. Final Blink question. Favorite Blink side project: Boxcar Racer, Plus 44, or Angels?
Boxcar. For me, it's Boxcar. No question. I love that album.
They have riffs.
Yeah, that's true. I think
Yeah.
I think Mark's best work ever is Plus 44, but all three bands are crazy.
Yeah.
I like Transplants in a certain mood, but like
I don't even consider that band.
Yeah, there you go. But,
Travis has too many side projects.
That's true. That's a good point.
That's a good point.
Yeah. But yeah, I love Boxcar and Plus 44 and AV. I think if we pick like one album of any of them,
Yeah.
fuck. Dude, seriously, some of the best albums of all time.
My one album personally is Boxcar. I think that's like through and through, like just a perfect album.
Yeah.
But my favorite band is Angels and Airways, so I'm gonna stick with Angels and Airways. But like
Okay.
the best album in those side projects, in my opinion, is by far Boxcar. Like that,
Okay.
that album killed it.
I love all three, but I'm gonna have to go for, if you guys are going for those, I'm gonna have to pick Plus 44. Dude, I think it's the sound that we try to, not to emulate, but to sort of like that we use as inspiration for us. Like there aren't that many bands that have that sort of style, like chord wise and like, tone wise, that we try to like pick from. And like, there are some that really, they're one of the first bands that inspired us to take it, like we were saying earlier, from that
Go
like
weird.
soft edge to that really like pushing the boundary kind of thing to making it heavier. Like even though Mark doesn't necessarily make heavy music, like the chords in there, that dissonance and stuff, like it brings that to like, it pushes it to the edge kind of thing. And that's what we try to do with our music. So I'm gonna go with them.
Yeah, because like before, with our music, it was like, not that we had boundaries that we wanted to follow, but it's kind of, we're just like, oh, well, this is what like makes it. So we should follow the formula. You know what I mean? It's just like logically when you start writing, because you just, you interpret other people's work and then you think about it and you're like, okay, I'll try to do something similar or whatnot. And you just end up like doing stuff that's a little bit too much. It's been there, done that. You know what I mean? So
I hear you.
yeah, we just wanted to push and see. And like Plus 44, like you said, was just one of those bands that go like, they delve into your emotions and like go into really weird places that you don't think a song could go, and it's just
Oh my
cool.
God, chapter 13, like that's basically like, that's like a Lost Mineral song.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's so like weird and out there, but it's awesome.
There's
it's like,
songs
such a
that-
good song.
Like
And
I
that
s-
breakdown at the end,
Yeah, dude, there's songs that I used to hate growing up and that they grow on you, but they're so weird. Like Weatherman is like the weirdest thing in the world, but now I enjoy it. You know what I mean? Like it's
Mhm.
weird. Love that stuff.
all right, so with all of these bands, I could very much hear Tony Hawk's Pro Skater's influence in your upbringing. And I also share that influence.
100%.
So if there was one Tony Hawk game that you could add a Second Harbor song to, what would it be?
Oh, two.
I think so also.
Well, let's get
Pro Skater or Underground?
Pro Skater.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we have a bias because that's when we played mostly as kids. So.
Yeah, that's true. Fair point.
Something controversial I can't add to this conversation. I didn't grow up playing video games. I
Okay.
a Tony Hawk game. I had a DS. That's it.
I had Tony Hawk on the DS.
Oh, I didn't know that was a thing.
I didn't-
American Skateland. It was a broken port.
There's some white snowboarding game on that DS, which was the worst thing ever. On the Wii, though, that stuff was baller.
It's cool.
That's what we grew up with also. Sean White, the legend. Your brother, dude.
Another ginger.
Oh,
All right. So you guys have this single. Do you
Yes.
have anything else coming down the pipeline that you would like to plug?
Yeah, we like to play not so much. I mean, it's pretty much just this thing. We're working, like we said, we're working really hard on like a bunch of new stuff in general. Probably won't see the light of day for a good couple months, if not more. Like I'd say this next single after that would probably be in beginning of next year or whatever. But yeah, we're just looking forward to getting back out with the shows and stuff, and especially this new lineup. I've never felt so confident in a lineup before that we've had. Like Jake just is the most solid addition. On top of playing guitar,
Oh yeah.
yeah, on top of playing guitar and like ripping it on that front. And when I used to play guitar, like it worked well and whatnot for our chords and stuff, but like it or not, I couldn't sing and play leads at the same time, or that sort of thing, So now that I'm covering vocals and bass, he can really like cover all grounds on guitar, sort of like Chad from NFG. Like he does a lot of that stuff where he swaps back and forth between the rhythm and guitar and leads. So I think he can do that really well. And on top of that, he sings as well. You know, he's been doing his own stuff, like he said, for a while. So it's like adding another dimension to our band or live. It just sounds so much more full. The fact that we have those leads and those extra harmonies and everything, so it's gonna be killer.
Yeah, and like especially it was cool because we had played like all together before, so it was like there was already like that kind of like there's special like bond that's made between people.
It wasn't from ground zero. You had some place to start. Yeah,
exactly. So when we came back, it's like we all got better, but we never left. So it was like jumping up. Like,
you know what it's like? It's like in the last couple MCU movies where, when there's that blip thing, dude, it's like we fucking all disappeared. And then 5 years later, we come back, except now we're all like way fucking better at our shit. And we know how to write better. And we know how to fucking do our stuff better. So that's what it felt like for real. Because it's just like all of a sudden, snap, we're back, except all a lot more talented at what we do and more experienced. So it's cool. It works really well. And it's a good experience. I'm happy we had that experience as kids and it didn't work out. And for us to come back serious now and mature and able to work together,
Nice. Nice. Yes. All right. So I guess the final thing I'm going to do is a bit of a hot seat question. Y'all are going to hate me, but I'm going to do it anyways. Desert Island record.
Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck.
Desert Island record. Well,
no.
Like, what's the longest thing I can bring? That's dope. That's not how it should work. Dude, I want to stop talking about the self-titled record by Blink, but that's maybe what I'd bring.
I was thinking the same.
Or maybe the self-titled record by The Story So Far, because there's a lot of stuff on it. You know what? Actually, though, maybe I bring something completely.
I love watching the mental process.
Like the Styles album.
Because I would sputter out of control if asked this.
Yeah, true, for sure. I am. Yeah. You're currently watching a sputtering of control.
Yeah. Can I just bring like a discography? Like find a vinyl.
All right. You know what? I'll make it a little easier. You get a band's discography.
Okay, that's dope. That's dope.
It's still hard.
Albums like
it's a little easier. It's a little easier.
I think overall I go with Blink in that case because they have so many. Sorry, they've evolved so much, dude. I just too many bubblies, dude. I drink like 4 a day of those things. Fuck. I hope they don't have like that hidden cancer, like fake sugar shit in there, because I'm gonna die otherwise.
The high fructose corn syrup.
Yeah, dude, hopefully. But
no, it's seltzer.
Blink has like a bunch of everything. Like we were saying, like Neighborhoods versus like Dude Ranch is like worlds apart. They're both like such different records. I think I'd go with Blink. So good luck picking other shit, boys.
Okay.
So
but that also means you get California and 9 or whatever the last one was.
I'll leave those on the plane crash. It's all good.
You can use those if you run out of wood.
Did that come out loud on my back? I just thought I had.
Yeah. See, I'm gonna say something. I'm gonna go with Angels and Airwaves just because it's like to me, it's just like a band that keeps me happy and like. So I feel like if I'm on, an island, I want something that'll keep me like in good space, And,
just throw on and let the synths just like take you into outer space.
Exactly. And how sick would it be to be on an island at night? And there's Angels and Airwaves playing, looking at the stars, and I'm in.
Also, dude, on the beach, maybe. While Jake thinks of his answer, maybe we should have the Beach Boys, bro. Like that would be pretty sick if you're on just an island chilling the whole time.
I feel like it'd be creepy after a while.
Yeah, dude, imagine only being able to listen to pet sounds. Like, I love that record, but it's a scary record.
You know what I go with though? Also, like if it pop punk aside, I think I go with Depeche Mode.
Oh,
because they have so many ballers. I don't know if you're familiar with them. They're an '80s band that's like a new wave band.
Okay.
So fucking baller. They have like so many albums also. And
could I take a live record though?
Yeah, the live record's part of discography, dude. You take it.
I'd take a live record because that.
Okay. So I think I'd go with Knuckle Puck.
Okay.
You want to bring 3 records?
I've had some odd jobs that feel like I'm stuck on a desert island every day, and I used to listen to Knuckle Puck every day, and it got me through the day. So I think I'm really fully legit stuck on a desert island.
Especially good in pop punk. You literally just brought an hour and a half of listening to it.
Dude, I somehow made an hour and a half of listening go for like 8 or 9 hours a day. So
at least he didn't say Joyce Manor. That would have been like 40 minutes.
I think Knuckle Puck would be there for me. I think.
Dude, I see the inspiration now because on your EP we were checking it earlier. Your EP is 10 minutes long and has 5 songs, I think, 5 or 6.
And one of them is like 30 seconds.
There you go.
Now you guys have to take a page out of the Power Violence playbook and make a 10-track record and have it under like 5 minutes.
Oh damn, dude, that's the goal.
Is it?
I had a friend's band. They just recently tried to get their stuff on streaming, and DistroKid literally said no because the record is too short, and there are 12 tracks on it.
Oh my god, that's crazy, dude.
I'm just like, I love it. But anyways, anything else you guys wanted to plug or say before I closed off?
Just, check out Don't Hold Back from Me when it comes out. I think it's our best song so far. I think it's gonna.
We say that every time, but
yeah,
they keep getting better.
Because every song gets better.
Exactly.
Every band should want their newest song to be the best song they've ever
And
written.
we're still growing, and like this is like we're coming to be more familiar with our sound every time. So like this is just like the natural evolution of where we're going. It's a little heavier, a little more depressed, a little more catchy. It's a little more everything of what we've had. Yeah. Overall, we definitely switched from recently from like we got real with ourselves because we used to label ourselves as a pop punk band, but I mean we're definitely just an emo band, dude. I think like our goal is to make everyone sad, basically. So.
Ever since the Wonder Years, those two just got together.
Yeah, exactly. But at this point, I think
we don't try to make everyone sad. We try to help everyone cope with their sadness by being more sad.
To embrace their sadness by listening to our music
and then get better.
Well said.
That's why I always go back to Hot Water Music, because they're a sad band, but it's always like there's a point to the sadness. You're working through something.
There you go.
But so when can people find the song?
It's coming out fall, so it's coming out soon. Depending on when this drops, it's going to be out soon.
Very soon.
At October.
Okay, and any shows lined up in your area?
Not yet. Here it's still very closed down. I mean, we haven't seen any local show. There's one local show I've heard of, and it was bands playing outside, and they got shut down. So I don't think it's happening anytime soon. And with the cold weather coming in and stuff, I think it's going to be
until next year.
Next year, yeah. So it's coming,
which sucks, but it's okay. We'll get better and write more.
Lots of time to
get used to the lineup and everything. Vince. It started playing drums like beginning of this year. Essentially, I started teaching him. So like it gives us time to get more tight as a band, Or not, Jake hasn't played a live show in a long time.
Oh, dude, it's been like 2-3 years.
Yeah, exactly. And Vince hasn't played a live show on drums ever. So it'll give us time to get really tight together and make sure we're all super familiar with their stuff. And then so we're looking forward to when we're able to play, but at the same time, the extra time is definitely beneficial for us.
Well, just hold on for the song. It's coming in the next like month and a half,
depending on and it's gonna be sick. It's gonna be pure Second Harbour, and it's cool. It's dark, and hopefully it makes you cry a little, but like also just tears of joy.
But then tears of joy.
Tears. No, embrace the darkness now.
Yeah, exactly.
But let me just say there is no feeling that's going to top your first show back. So I know it's hard not having one, but like that's going to carry you through.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
And like, if it makes you feel any better, my first show back post-COVID, my guitarist's amp head crapped out, and so did my bassist's.
Oh my God.
This is why I use a combo.
There you go.
But anyways, thank you so much. It was such a pleasure getting to meet and chat with you guys.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks so much.
Absolutely honored, and super happy to do this at time.
And try to get out to the States real soon. And if you have the opportunity once COVID is done, I would love to help put you up somewhere, whether with a gig or a place to sleep. That's what I do here in New Jersey. That's why I talk about New Jersey and DIY bands, because I just like to help.
That'd be awesome. Absolutely, keep in contact, keep in touch.
That'd be sick.
All right, so this has been It Came From the Basement with DJ Tall Guy and Second Harbor. Thanks for listening.